Eve! Long time no see, my friend! It's me, Kinley. Have you been keeping together pretty well? I know it's been a few years now, but I wanted to make sure you're still doing okay. I've been pretty busy recently with my fiancé being all romantic and such. So I'm sorry for not getting back to you about my life. I'm sure you've been really lonely without me, right? It's not like any of us from that friend group have really been hanging out anymore, right? Probably because me being all of your guys' best friend really left everyone feeling lonely. No, actually, I've been quite alright. And so have the rest of us, I think. And it has been a long time now, hasn't it? What are you wanting to talk with me about right now? Well, thank you so much for asking. And well, really soon here, I'm going to be getting married to my fiancé. What? That's right. Well, congratulations for that. What? Thank you so much. You still seem not to have a man of your own right now, correct? I'm so sorry having to tell you such heartbreaking news as this. You really don't like to hear about this, do you? I'm sure you're barely holding yourself together now, right? No, I'm fine, actually. But about the whole having a boyfriend thing, I still don't have one. However, to me, I'm not really that interested in getting married at the moment. I've been up to other things with my life, and I'm actually quite pleased with the way things have been going for me. Oh, really? Well, that's great to hear. If you were about to tell me you didn't want to hear anything about me getting married, I was going to feel really awkward about this conversation. The wedding will be on the 3rd Saturday at 8 a.m., so please come out to see me. I'll send you the location of the venue later, alright? What? You're talking about that? Well, around that time, I still don't really have any plans. I'm sure you don't, right? So please make sure to come on out to my wedding for me. And as a gift, you being my friend and all, I'd like around $500, please. Wait, are you really supposed to be asking for something like that from me right now? Well, of course I'm supposed to be. After all, when it comes to you, you happen to be a bit slow a lot of the time. If I weren't to ask you for the amount now, you would never be able to figure things out. That's why I made sure to tell you the amount I'm expecting from you. You're pretty old now, so you should have the money to give some to me, right? Wait, that wasn't the problem I was referring to just then. Ah, another thing. You've always been really good at painting and things like that, right? You were into things like design and stuff as well? What? Well, currently I'm working in design, so... You sure are! Then, could you please go ahead and make up the welcome board that we can show outside my venue for all the guests? When it comes to what design to go with, do something that you know will make me very happy. What? Wait. Something like that is fine, but... I'm not really sure what you'd want to have on it, right? By the way, how much would you like to spend on the welcome board for your wedding? What? Come on now! It should be free for me, right? You and I are best friends after all, so you do all of that for free, right? Wait, you're calling us best friends? So you like to only use that term when it applies to benefiting you. I guess I can make something small up for you, but when it comes to the raw materials, I'm going to need some money to make it look decent. If you're wanting it for free, well... What? I am getting married, aren't I? Yet for some reason, you're not wanting to celebrate that about me at all. Are you asking the bride to have to send you some money for that? Why are you making it sound like I'm in the wrong for asking? I'm talking about the welcome board that you want for your wedding. And if you want it to be good, well, you're gonna have to pay a little bit for the good materials. I was just trying to ask you the important information. And if you're wanting it to be good for me, then you go and get those materials with your own money. You think of a design that suits me, and then you make that happen. Remember that it's meant to be like a present for me. So you're going to make something gorgeous for me, right? I promise to tell everyone at the wedding that you were the one that made it. That way you'll be getting some free advertising out of it. What? This is not all about that, though. What is it then? Are you planning to still act all stingy about wanting some money for my present? Come on already! Don't go out trying to disappoint me or anything here. That's right. I've made sure to invite all kinds of other people to my wedding. All of our best friends from our best friend group. Considering that it's been so long since we've all seen each other, I hope you're really looking forward to my wedding. What? Our best friend group? Hold on. Don't just say something like that about people I'm not even sure about. Why does it even matter to you when you're being invited to my wedding just like the rest of them? I just ask that you look good while you're there, and I mean cute good. Unlike you, I'm having to still plan a bunch more out, which is a tough feat for me, right? And because of that, I'm busy right now with some things, so I'll see you later. No, don't call this me skipping out last minute or anything. Skipping out on your best friend's wedding like that last minute makes you such a terrible person! I asked you to make and bring me a welcome board, didn't I? How are you going to make all of this right for me? Wait, the thing is that I never once got an official invitation from you. What? What are you talking about? I invited you to my wedding before. Well, you did tell me something or another about your wedding and everything. But you were just telling me the date and time of your wedding and nothing else about it. I never got an actual invitation, so there was nowhere for me to even RSVP to. And when I asked about it, you never once replied to me. Which means in the end, I was never able to say anything to you about me actually coming or not. Huh? Are you actually saying something like that to me right now? I am being as serious as I can be right now. Did you ever go out and send me an invitation in the mail, or at the very least by email? What are you even talking about? In the mail? You wanted me to send you an invitation through the mail? I just went and sent everyone texts saying when my wedding would be. That should have been more than enough in order to get them to come, right? Not really. I get that recently a lot of people have been doing invitations for their wedding online and such, but that's usually through an online link or an email. All you did was send out a couple of texts saying that the wedding was on this date at this time and nothing else. Please don't call something like that the only kind of invitation you were able to send out. You're lying, right? Are you just trying to mess with me right now? A prank or something? Are you just trying to pull a fast one on me right now to try and get me a little bit worked up on my big day? You really are the most absent-minded person I've ever known, Kinley. Invitation out to any of your guests. And when I was going out with Rachel and all the others for dinner, we started to talk about you. They all wanted to know if we had been invited by you or not. And that's when everyone in the group said that they'd gotten some text from you, but they didn't know where the venue was or anything. We all had no idea what you were really going on about at the time. Wait! So you have all been going out to dinner and such together? So you're saying you've been keeping me out of the loop and meeting up with one another? Hold up. I really have no idea where the root of your misunderstanding lies here. It's not that we've been keeping you out of the loop. Rather, you've never been a part of this group of friends to begin with. So why would we be talking with you about anything? What? What do you mean? The only one who seems to think that this group is filled with all her friends is you. You even called us your best friend group, right? Well, to all of us, you're not a part of us. You're lying about that, right? Saying something like that about me right now? Don't you feel like a total asshole for saying something like that on my wedding day of all days? Well, the only reason I'm being outright with you about it all right now is because if you're not told things directly, you never seem to get the hint. This whole time, you just assumed that you were best friends of ours, and that we were all your best friends. Think about that a little bit more, please. You think we all think highly of you after years of you being a total jerk to us? And when I say jerk, I really mean a thief. You're calling me a thief? None of that was my fault. The man who had fallen in love with me is to blame for all of that. Sure. Say what you will then. You always say things like that, and think that's a good enough reason to not be blamed for what you've done. But whenever we look at it, you were always the one asking for them to go out with you all the time. And when you say that you haven't been doing that, we never, ever believe you. There's no way this can be happening. Just because I'm cute? You're all assholes. Go on. Say whatever makes you feel better about your actions. I'm sorry, but the rest of us aren't going to bother with you and your misunderstanding of things anymore. Instead of always caring about your friends and their feelings, you were more into acting like a whore around men. And that led every single one of us to stop thinking about you as a friend, and definitely not as a best friend. That's why, when you started to text all of us about your wedding earlier, we were all in shock. What the hell? Saying so many mean things like that? There's no way. The fact that you were all saying things like that about me. I was really looking forward to seeing all of you at my wedding today. If you really wanted us to hang out with you again, then maybe you should have stopped being such a whore around all of our men and built friendships with us. I get it. But please, come to my wedding right now. I really have none of my guests showing up to this wedding right now. My fiancé is getting really upset with me. If you all don't come here, then I'll be in big trouble. If he starts to talk about how he doesn't want to get married to me anymore, I'm going to be in really huge trouble. That all kind of serves you right, doesn't it? How you end up after none of your guests come today has nothing to do with all of us. This is the fruit that the seeds you planted with us long ago have grown. Why would you say something like that about me? I get it, for real now. You all don't have any money, and that's why you guys wouldn't be able to give me those gifts, right? Well then how about this? You guys don't have to bring me money anymore and can still come. So please, come here. That's not the kind of issue we have with you right now. None of us are wanting to use our valuable time going out to your wedding to celebrate a jerk like you. That's all. Don't think you're going to have even me showing up today, when you were the one that never listened to me and laid your filthy hands all over the man I loved. That's all stuff from the past, Eve. I'm asking you to please, please, please come here right now. I told you, I'm not coming. Now you're starting to get on my nerves. I hope that your wedding and marriage are a thing of the past right here and now, you bitch.
It's been a while, Eve. This is me, Jacob. It's been a while, Eve. I'm sure you still remember who I am, right? I used to be in the class above you?
What? Jacob? Why are you talking to me after so many years? It really has been so long now, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. I'm glad to be hearing from you again, and thankfully you still remember who I am after so many years of never talking. Anyway, I wanted to ask about a friend of yours. You have a friend that goes by the name of Kinley, right? I woke up this morning to loads of calls on my phone that came in from her. It seems that today is the day of her wedding or something. I have no idea why she would want to be calling me about all of that, though. But weren't you pretty close with her back in the day? Are you sure it's all right for you to not go to your friend's wedding?
Wait. I was never really that close to her at all. She was the kind of whore that thought she could do anything she wanted with all the men around her. even if they were dating her friends. And she did the same thing to my friend group. When everyone knew what she was doing, we all stopped talking to her, and that was the end of it.
Wow, so that's how things went down back then? I guess there was a bit of her that made me think she liked hanging around men all the time. But I assumed she also had you and your group as really close friends. And well, I thought that since she was good friends of yours, she'd be a good person too. But she was never your friend back then?
Not at all. That whore would never be a friend of any of us. And that's why my group all said that even if she had sent out invitations to us, we wouldn't have gone. We actually spent a whole dinner talking about her. She really got in the way of all of our love lives back in the day. We were all furious with her before we stopped talking to her.
Oh, I bet you all were. Wait. Back in the day, she came up to me saying that she was a friend of yours and that she wanted to date me for a while. Does that mean a certain someone I know had a crush on me back then?
Wait, about that. Well, we don't have to talk about that, right? That's all in the past now. The far past, actually.
What? I would really like to know if that's true. And the fact that you reacted like that means you pretty much gave the secret that you had a crush on me away. I feel really happy.
How were you able to dodge me like that? Did you learn some kind of martial arts or something? Please, I'd never get in. Didn't even know about how to send out simple wedding invites is something even I know about, and I'm not even interested in marriage. You really must have had no shame at that point to be able to see things like that to him. Why the hell do you know about all of that? I got a text from Jacob, and he was talking about your wedding with me. He had some questions about it, which then led to us talking some more about our past, and then he invited me to go out to eat with him. We already went out for coffee once this week for just an hour, and it seems he doesn't have a partner at the moment. And also, I'm going to consider this upcoming dinner as our first date. So, for giving me this chance with Jacob again, thank you. Huh? I'm not going to allow you to become the only one of us becoming happy. And all because of me? Back in the day, you were the reason why I lost Jacob, after you jumped in and took him away for a bit. But at the time, he had himself a girlfriend, and so he had to turn you down over and over again, right? However, right now he has nobody, so I'm going in to make sure he stays mine. And if you try and take him away from me this time, it's way too late. He knows the kind of bitch that you are and is not interested in you at all. Screw you, Eve! I just lost my job in the company's layoffs, and so now I have nothing left but sadness and darkness. You becoming happy instead of me? I'm not going to allow it. I don't give a damn what you allow, Kinley. And once you've been taken to the hospital in your sad condition, the police will be taking you into their custody. There were 3 people that saw you trying to trip me down those stairs as I came up, so please go peacefully with the police when they show up. And then you can continue your descent into hell with them. Bitches like you are only good for one thing, and that's going to hell in order to hopefully learn your lesson. After that, Kinley tried to make a break for it with one badly broken leg before the ambulance arrived, but stumbled over right in front of a police cruiser, which then picked her up and took her away. From there, I don't know all the details about what happened with her, but what I heard through some rumors is that she ended up having to pay a lot in hospital fees after her treatment, as well as get questioned by the police, and then went home to an eviction notice. She was never paying any of her bills there, and that put her on the streets before she knew it, where she is now living as a homeless woman. As for myself, after going on a few dates with Jacob, we both started to talk about marriage, and are on a path towards that. It's all because of Kinley that this relationship with Jacob was even made possible, and for some time, I will be thankful towards her for that.